so cold. How many is awake in a row? Well, then they get to miss this, huh? They fell off. I'm gonna be busy later because of Thanksgiving, so I really wanted to play more before then. It's so cold. I'm hoping all the screaming and crying will keep me up. It ain't October no more. Resident Evil month is over. I beat one game. This guy is so ugly. Okay. Alright, I think I'm ready. Got my blanket around me. Rumor has it, Anji-san, that you jumped off the top of a skyscraper. This guy is in all of his games? What do you mean? Like in every Ryokishi game? Oh, so no, I will finish Resident Evil 0. I've just been busy with Kirby and Umineko. Higurashi has a sprite. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Even Synconia? That's okay, that's humorous. I like that. The groupies were getting annoying, so I thought I'd give them the slip. Angie and the old gentleman wearing an expensive suit were alone in a massive modern conference room. All of the newest machines for the presentations were installed there, but they didn't upset its refined and composed atmosphere. And that alone was enough to make the business-like theme of the room abundantly clear. However, that didn't matter at all to Angie. She carelessly sat on the high-class chair that executives making a salary of several 10 million yen probably sat in, looking aloof from the world. It's because I knew they were remodeling on a lower floor and had a safety net out. Ah, well I'm very happy they said that. That was bugging me hard. Like, what I was imagining was that it was just allegorical and she didn't actually jump off the building, and in reality she just went with the guards and went back down. But that's not awful enough, so she had to imagine in her head that she jumped off. Whoever told that man to put a bright green tie with 2 different shades of red needs to be given the cheapest green. That is quite hideous. But it looks like something Ruby Tomato would wear. Like the green could be the stem, you know? And the red, so that's obvious. Check Golden Land. Let's see. Ew! Why is he a military man in 2 of them? Ooh, the green-haired one is cool. There's so many. Hi Sams, I'm glad you're awake. You say my guy like I'm supposed to know that. I have never heard of Synconia in my life. Okay, I heard of Higurashi before because, you know, everyone knows that one. But Synconia? Literally who? No one has ever talked about this ever. Only you. Angie talked about it like it was no big deal, but in reality it had been a miracle among miracles. To think that she'd shot through several layers of safety netting for the remodeling project, been caught in the multicolored banner adorning the atrium and slipped off, only to be softly caught by a final banner and land on the ground without a scratch. And then briskly leave that place. It put Hong Kong movies to shame. There's no way you mean that. You're lying. There's absolutely no way you mean that. Whatever you knew, there was oh, crap, cat! The stream's still on? Okay, jeez. First time I ever lied to you. Okay, thank goodness. Whatever you knew there was a skyscraper or not, this is a 200-meter tall skyscraper we're talking about, right?
If things hadn't gone as you planned, there'd be a mess to deal with now.
I figured if I died, then I'd be dead and that would be that, more or less. Well, still, I was testing my luck a bit. Call it youthful zeal. As though saying that she had enough of that topic, Angie shrugged coldly. Seeing that the old gentleman who was looking at that world below through a crack in the blinds cackled.
So you were testing your luck, is that it? My, you truly are Kinso-san's grandchild. The nerve to trust your life to chance. The chairman was also a woman who could stake her life on a bet like it was nothing, so maybe this really is the Ushirmiya blood at work. You really will make it big in this future. Please let me be blunt. Why not give up this running away from home act and return to the Sumadera family?
I heard that Mom had a bad relationship with her family. I didn't want to go to the house of people I first met at a funeral. The Sumaderas are Mom's family. They're an old family from Kyoto, and compared to Mom's frank attitude, unbelievably strict. The only Sumadera I've been on good terms with was Grandpa, who was living apart from his family under the guise of retirement. Mom kept in touch with him too, but she avoided the rest of the family completely, almost hostilely so. So when I went out to play with the Sumadera family, it was always at Grandpa's house I visited. When I was young, I hadn't really understood that. But I hear that Grandpa was in an extremely weak position as a man who'd moved into his wife's family register, and his relationship with Grandma was also bad. You might even say that Grandma hated him and confined him to the house. Wait. Okay, so Kairi had a bad relationship with her family. The Sumaderas are Kairi's family. They're no family from Kyoto, and compared to Mom's frank attitude, unbelievably strict. Okay, so we have Asumu's parents who were taking care of Butler. And now we have Kairi's parents who they weren't taking care of Angie, but sometimes did. Okay, I get it. You might even say that Grandma hated him and confined him to the house. It isn't hard to imagine that because she had a soft spot for Grandpa alone. 1 second. And I haven't read my whole ramble as I said. What did you see? I did not. I do not like reading ahead if I haven't read it before. Anyways, BRB because I'm gonna get a bigger blanket. It's way too cold. I'm back. I am a proper burrito now. Okay, let us read. Am I allowed to read it out loud? What you sent? I mean, Phoenix? One second. Okay, I'm back. I ran out of water. Alright, let's read it. Oh. Do you know how much of a fan of the Saw movies I am? Like, I was literally making a list of my favorite movies of all time, and Saw 5 is on that list. That's how much I love those movies. But anyways, okay, I thought I told you, I was just making sure. Okay, so... do I think you should watch them? Yes, because I love them. But for that reason, you won't get any philosophical satisfaction from them at all. Like, that part, only 2 movies really focus on that part. The reason I love Saw is because of how much it becomes a soap opera. Every movie is like, they're like extremely long episodes of a TV show because of how interconnected they are. You get flashbacks from the first movie and the 8th movie. Like, that's why I like it, because of how ridiculous they get it with the story. But from the stance that you would go into them, you wouldn't get what you're looking for, I'm afraid. I remember telling you that I didn't think I could ever watch those, and you response, those are my favorite horror. Yes, they absolutely are. I love Saw so much. It's so good. I've only watched 3 Saw movies, and the German key has been, and that's a lot of Saw. That's good enough for me. I'm biased, right? Please watch them, but I cannot lie to your face. Funny enough, the newest one is one that really focused on it, because the newest one switched tones drastically. The newest one stopped feeling like a soap opera and felt like a movie again. So, honestly, you might really like the newest one, but you cannot watch the newest one without knowing the context of all the previous ones, because they're really connected. Yeah, that's also very fair. No. If you cannot handle that, then watching them will be very hard, because that's 90% of what they are. Okay. What's on my knee? Oh. It isn't hard to imagine that, because she had us all. Mom was also hated by the Sumaderas. Since I was her daughter, they probably hated me quite a bit too. And yet they appeared for the first time at Mom's funeral, shamelessly going on about how big I've gotten, like they could actually act like family after all this time. Work? This doesn't really click. When Aunt Eva died, I would inherit all the wealth of the Ushinomiya family. If that wasn't what they were after, there's no way they would have been able to say such disgusting words. Well, it's not as though I can't understand your desire for self-abandonment now that you're all alone. This isn't self-abandonment. I'm just taking a carefree stroll now that that annoying Aunt Eva has finally kicked the bucket. Everyone else is just making too big of a deal about it. Of course everyone's after the vast Ushiramiya wealth I bear. They must think that becoming my guardian means they'll be able to do as they please with that wealth. Just how many people have tried to get close to me acting like they want to be a substitute parent?
If you ever find that you're hurting, please talk with me if it will help, okay? After all, I think of you as my own grandchild, Anji-san. Chan.
Huh. I'll say no thank you for now. More importantly, let's return to what we were talking about.
Anji-san, no matter how many times you ask, I am hiding nothing. The chairman was the only survivor on Ronkinjima that day, and she passed away without saying anything. I myself know nothing. Everyone is wrapped in darkness, you see.
This old gentleman was one of those leaders who had been entrusted with a business group Eva had brought up after she passed away. The one he called chairman was the former chairman, Ushiriya Eva. His company once had friendly ties with the Hideyoshi business, and he had a close relationship with both Hideyoshi and Eva. For that reason, when Eva lost Hideyoshi, he became the only person whom he might have let her true intentions slip. Whenever Eva's heart was torn by the loss of her family, whenever she took it out on Angie, he had acted as a buffer between the two, so although Angie didn't trust him, she found him a very easy person to question. 1 sec. Back. That crime was... no, that accident. If I can call it a crime, I'll get in trouble. I had the same questions about it as the public in the talk shows. At the time of the accident, why was Aunt Eva in a place 2 kilometers away from the mansion all alone? And on the night of a storm?
Back then, Kinzo-san wasn't sure as to whom he should select to be his successor. Officially, he decided on his son Kraus-san, but he didn't have much trust in that man.
So to fairly determine a successor from among the 4 siblings, he made his game-like test called the Riddle of the Epitaph.
Ostensibly, yes. Kinzo-san probably planned to make Eva-san the successor from the beginning. He wanted to withdraw his own rule that the eldest son be the successor, and instead of Kraus-san, leave the family to the extremely diligent and brilliant Eva-san. The new rule about giving the inheritance to the one who solved the epitaph was probably nothing more than a farce to snatch the position of successor away from Krauser.
What do you mean by farce?
Well, there was no need for anyone to solve that epitaph. Once it had been displayed for the appropriate amount of time, Kinzo-san could just call Eva's son whom he truly wanted to succeed him, and give her the answer. In other words, that itself would provide proof of her succession to the headship.
This isn't something they brought up on the talk shows, is it?
Well, once you bring up the succession of the headship, conspiracy theories tend to rise on the surface. I am no fool myself. I won't go out of my way to say things that could invite misunderstandings, you see.
This was his theory. At that time, the Ushiriya family head, Kinso, whose remaining life was announced to be short, was troubled by the problem of who was to succeed him. Normally, the successor would be fixed as the oldest son, Kraus, whom Kinso had chosen himself. But in his later years, Kinso began to think that Eva would make a more fitting family head. However, Kinso, who was stubborn even against himself, was dimmed by the title of successor that he already given to Kraus. And he searched for an official stance by which he could skip over Kraus and select Eva as his successor. That official stance was the riddle of the epitaph. The primary successor was still Kraus. But there was a new rule saying that if somehow someone appeared who could solve the riddle, they would be chosen as the successor to the headship. Then, on what would probably be his final family conference, Kinzo told Eva the answer to that riddle himself. In short, it was the same as proclaiming that Eva herself was the successor. Okay, I will eventually try to watch the first one and we will see how I do. Okay, so like, if you watch the first one, you'll do it just fine. The first one is like, it was the birth of torture porn and all that, but like, the first one, it's mostly off screen. You will actually, if you like what the movie says and how it does things, you will like the first one. It's just from 2 onwards where they started going in on the gore. So yeah, first one's super easy to watch. You can do it, easy peasy. Did you enjoy how I'm always bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with the streams? I do. I'm expecting this episode 4 streams to be the same as the pacing of the episode. 1 hour streamers, 5 hour streamers, 1 hour streamers, 5 hour streams. Possibly. On that day, Eva-san was summoned by Kinzo-san, who revealed the answer to her. And so that she could succeed the headship, he called Eva-san to the hidden mansion, Kuwadorian, which only the head knew about. And because Eva arrived at the hidden mansion 1 step ahead, she escaped harm in that accident, you say? Maybe Eva just killed everyone and made it look like an accident so she could steal all of the wealth for herself. I'm bored! We're Battler back on screen. And maybe that's why she escaped unharmed. Well, that's what the papers are shouting about. However, I believe Eva-san. I'd say there are several points that justify trusting her. For example, the ring of the Ushiriya family head, which is on your finger now, Anji-chan. That ring is the only one of its kind in the world, which Kinzo-san has made especially. The artisan who made it acknowledges that the object on your finger is, without a doubt, that ring. The Ushiriya family head's ring. That ring with the heft of gold and the one we could see on it had a diamond arranged on the pedestal and felt both sturdy and reminiscent of the dark hobbies of the rich. Kinzo had worn that on his finger without removing it for even a moment. This man was saying that the fact Eva had it proved that Kinzo had acknowledged her as his successor. I mean, Kinzo also died. She would have just taken it from his body. After all, Eva-san certainly did have that ring. And if you take into consideration that Eva-san actually was talented and that Kraus-san had made a fool of himself several times on the business scene, I cannot imagine that Eva-san's story is completely made up. Although there's the possibility that she murdered grandfather in order to steal that ring. Then Aunt Eva using some kind of trick massacred everyone and made it look like an accident. Oh yes. It seems the papers were saying something about her massacring everyone with keeping all the wealth to herself as the goal. True, Eva's son was a person capable of holding back nothing when she was determined to accomplish something. Or she may have committed murder for once in her life if a chance for keeping all the Ushiriya family wealth for herself presented itself. However, I don't think that happened. So what's the second point of that justifies your trust in her? Eva-san's family. Hideyoshi-san and George-kun. It might be difficult for you to believe all of a sudden, Anji-chan, but Eva-san was a person who treasured family greatly. Part of me didn't want to believe it or acknowledge it, but I did understand vaguely. Aunt Eva certainly had been a person who highly treasured her family. After all, the root of her twisted personality had been nothing more than the sadness of losing her beloved husband and son. After getting hit with her angry outbursts as she tried to distract herself from that pain, I had no feelings of sympathy at all. But it's not like I can't imagine how the incredible shock of losing her whole family must have changed her character. You're saying there's no way Aunt Eva, who loved her family, would throw away her husband and her son? That's right. Even if Eva's son really was the culprit and massacred the entire family, making it look like an accident, she most certainly would have spared her husband and her son. This whole scene sucks. This scene sucks bollocks. It's just nonsense. It's just all wind. They're trying to trick me, but I'm not falling for it. She did it, like, come on. Whatever. She would quibble that by coincidence, only her family had been in the hidden mansion. If Hideyoshi-san and George-kun had been slaves, even I would probably suspect Eva-san. I truly cannot imagine that Eva-san's wailing at Hideyoshi-san's funeral was in the act.
Sounds like both points so far are just circumstantial evidence. This isn't the same as physically proving on Eva's innocence.
If you say that, then you're stuck right away. Eva-san was the only survivor, and she says that this is the truth.
But no one can prove her innocence.
Yes, that's right. And no one can prove that she committed a crime either. And the final point that justifies trust in her is the police. After all, it was such a flashy crime. The police were being pushed forward by a public in an uproar over conspiracy theories, so they must have investigated Eva-san thoroughly.
It was easy to feel something unnatural about the claim that Eva had avoided the accident by coincidence, because she alone had escaped the hidden mansion.
One sec.
It gets better after AR, bro. Keep reading. Put Maria back on screen. I love the very idea that even if Hideyoshi survives, Eva is still the substitute, killing everyone immediately. No matter what, I'm not going to believe she's innocent. There is no world. For me, Hideyoshi and George dying makes her more suspicious. I cannot explain it, but it does. Furthermore, at the time, Hideyoshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, and in order to buy off the big stockholders, she wanted a large sum of cash. It shouldn't be too hard to find a motive there. But as a matter of fact, there had been nothing at all that implicated Eva as she went to the family conference. Nothing unnatural was found on her that could have been used to pretend murder her family and make it look like an accident. The servants who escaped harm by being off duty on that day also stated that they hadn't seen anything strange regarding anyone related to that event, Eva included. Putting all of this together, it can only be concluded that Ushirobya Eva had headed to Ronkinjima for a normal family conference without any change, and had encountered an accident.
The police looked so intensely, and they still couldn't find evidence that it was a crime. They reached a conclusion themselves. Doesn't this resolve their Ronkinjima suspicion?
That just means that the police couldn't find evidence that it was a crime.
There's nothing I can say to counter that. It becomes a devil's proof. To expose it to her crime, you would simply need to find evidence. But what could you possibly find to prove her innocence? It's impossible to prove a negative fact.
Did Aunt Eva commit a crime or did she not? Because we can't find any materials that'll let us to say for sure. The truth will remain a mystery. That's what you're saying, right?
That's it. Phrased in a manner you would prefer. That's what it amounts to. It was impossible even for Eva-san to prove her own innocence. On that island, an unfortunate accident occurred, and Eva-san survived by chance. And we don't know any more than that. In short, it all comes down to whether you will believe the story of the only survivor, Eva-san, or not. I believed. The ring and her praiseworthy love for her family, and the tears she shed at the funeral. Taking all of that into consideration, I decided to believe her story.
But I don't believe. If she wanted to steal the ring, there was probably many ways for her to do it, and no one knows if her relationship with her family really was that good. No one can prove the tears at the funeral are real. Anyway, I hated Aunt Eva from the very beginning, so I don't even want to believe her.
How does one view the truth of the crime? You and I are on completely opposite sides.
Even though the information we are given is exactly the same, we interpret it in completely different ways. This happens often in politics and business. The exact same enterprise will always be assessed in multiple different ways. Do you know why?
Why?
It's a question of whether one has love. Whether you feel love for someone or not completely changes how you view them. Here we go. Like this is like what I see. Like, this is what it's all about for me. I know at the end of the game, what's gonna happen is the question is gonna be posed to me, the player. Do I love Beatrice enough to believe in magic? Or do I love the truth more and discard the existence of Beatrice? And well, goodbye Beatrice, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. If a person you like gives to the poor, you respect them for it, right? But if someone you hate starts donating, you fiercely protest that it's a publicity stunt or that they're handling out favors. No matter what they do or don't do, you thank them if you have love and criticize them if you don't. That's how the world works.
Can Anna never be trusted or can she? You're saying that's all that really matters.
Those who suspect her will probably take everything she does or doesn't do and truly see it as something unnatural. And it works in reverse. As for me, I think that, barring certain extreme cases, truth might not exist in this world at all. No, even if truth does exist. Whether you believe it or not is determined by whether you have love or not. Can you really call truth without certainty truth? Even if Eva-san had been able to show physical proof that she had an alibi, would you have been able to believe it?
It's hard to counter that. I hate Ondeva, so I'll probably deny any information beneficial to her. And interpret any neutral information in a negative way. In other words, the truth is already decided inside me.
This is a really good scene. That's what I was talking about so many streams ago. About how the headcanons in the story that I'm going to make for myself are going to mean more to me than the actual truth that I'm just going to... I won't be able to see the truth. Like I cooked myself. I'm being called out. For without love, truth cannot be seen.
So just what in the world is this truth that I am still searching for unsatisfied?
That's how it is. So no matter what you hear from me, since you still suspect Eva-san after all this time, nothing will change. At the very least, even if you were to grasp a piece of Hitherto on... I thought it was some... I didn't realize that it was hitherto. And then it was like some new word that I'd never seen in my life. Hitherto. Even if you were to grasp a piece of hitherto unknown information, I don't think you'll be able to reach the truth the way you are now.
So I can't reach the truth.
After all, no matter what kind of new information or proof you find, Anji-chan, it won't change your stance that Eva-san is the culprit, right? So it's pointless to investigate anything anymore. Because the truth inside of you is already decided. However, if you stop assuming that to be the truth, if you wish to struggle further towards the deeper real truth, there is a single way. No, there ain't! I believe I already mentioned it, but do you know what it is?
Is it love? I don't really know what you mean.
Right now, you're considering this under the assumption that Eva-san is the culprit. But that's not different than looking at something with a single eye. With one eye, no matter how much you squint, you cannot see an object in 3 dimensions, right? That's why we have another eye. And of course, it's in a different position on the first eye.
You're telling me to look at things based on the superstition that Aunt Emma isn't the culprit. Or else that it was a real accident. How could I ever do that?
Don't worry, in this moment I was looking at that word like for a second as well. The writers are... Thank you. Yes, that's correct. When thinking about anything, you should always try to look at it from a different perspective. If you don't, you won't understand anything about what is real. It's the same with newspapers. You can't see anything from a single viewpoint of a writer who wrote an article in a single newspaper. Sometimes you can only process information compulsively and in 3 dimensions when you read multiple newspapers. Without love, the truth cannot be seen. Sounds nice.
Maybe he thought it interesting that such a flashy phrase would pop out of his mouth. For a while he laughed, looking pleased.
Say that again?
Yukishi on the corner of the screen and he says, "Pay attention guys, I wrote this!" At the same time he was telling me that he said everything he knew. And that it was about time to leave. I understood that and got onto my feet.
I do understand your feelings, Auntie-chan. You should do as you like for a while, until you're satisfied. You were 6 years old at the time. I understand how you must feel after losing your family before you could even understand what that meant, and how you must still be unable to sort out your heart. You may learn the truth, and you may not. Eva-san may be the culprit, and she may be a victim. I pray that you find the truth you believe in, Anji-chan. A journey at such a young age may prove to be a valuable experience.
Thank you very much. I'm truly sorry to be such a bother when you're so busy, Wakonogi-san.
Hey. No. I'm going insane. Wait. I'm making a fuss over nothing. I realize now. My brain just got ahead of myself, but I'm gonna double check. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm stupid. I saw the name Tetsuro, and I thought it was the same as Terumasa, Nanjo's name, but no. My bad. No trouble. What are you going to do now?
Well, whatever works. I made appointments with several specialists and people related to the crime, and I plan to go visit them.
I see. I hope you find an answer you can accept.
At the time, company president Okunogi's secretary came in and handed him a memo over his shoulder. He read it and then looked between them in my face. Lindsay's saying she's thankful for all of us in Clark despite she's committed murder. I think it might be because it's Thanksgiving. Ain't no way most of you didn't say Thanksgiving back. It's your turn to Bellerado chill. I'm broke. She's gonna have to stay there for a bit. Ruby.
Anji-chan, my apologies that this comes right after telling you to try going on a journey. But I have information you should lend an ear to. It looks like you're a bit of a nasty fix right now.
People after my money? This is what my money's stupid.
Yes, but if you sell a lot of that wealth trying to donate a whole sum to the public welfare, You'll make the eyes pop out of those people optimistic about their chances with your fortune.
Oh, the Sumadera family. Those guys act so proud, like they're my guards or something.
Gosh, why?
I have forgotten on Eva. There's no way I put myself in the care of the Sumadera family. They probably want to, as Aunt Eva often treated me in the past. Cut off my arms and legs, throw me in the warehouse, and suck the Ushirimiya family wealth dry.
Apparently, a messenger from the Sumadera family is coming here. They're saying to hand you over. No, that they want to protect you.
A messenger, you say?
It's your aunt. Kairi-san's younger sister.
What?
Even if she told me earlier that she thinks of you as a little sister.
She's gotta be joking. At least call me a granddaughter, you old hag.
Judging from the context, it seems they have no wish to listen to your desires. I have a car waiting in the parking lot 2 stories from the ground. Go.
The Sumadera family is telling you to hand me over. Is it really okay to let me go?
You will definitely become something big in the future, Anji-chan. Let us call this a favor to be repaid upon your success. Go, quickly.
Hey, yo, goat. After bowing silently and deeply, Angie left the place in a dash. After watching her leave, the female secretary straightened her glasses and whispered. The Sumadera family told us to stall her. It's really alright to let her go.
Wow, cool pose. We did stall her, more than enough. If they still don't make it in time, that's their own fault. I told Anji-chan to run for it. I informed the Sumaderas that Anji-chan would be coming. Whether she's caught or not, I will not be blamed. Everything in this world is love, you see. Don't worry, she'll escape. After all, the child capable of leaping off a building to shake pursuers.
Ogonogi looked down again through a crack in the blinds, muttering,
Nope, definitely couldn't do it.
Angie wasn't a fool herself. She got off of the elevator, but on the 3rd floor. A taxi on the 2nd level of the basement. That's so neat and clean that I don't like it. It's probably better to refuse for now. But my enemies aren't fools either. They're probably waiting in the 1st floor lobby as well as the underground parking lot. It's such a massive building. Instead of getting anxious and escaping outside, maybe it's better to stay inside and wait it out. No, that's useless. If they get their hands on a security room in a modern building like this, I'll have nowhere to run to. The entire building is like a massive dead end. The 3rd floor is a business floor. A young girl like me would clearly stick out. Trying not to stand out any more than I had to, I walked at a brisk pace searching for an emergency exit. And it'd be perfect if that staircase was an outside one. I found the door to the emergency car. After opening the heavy door, I found the outside staircase I'd hoped for. I bumped into a man who looked like an employee skipping work and smoking a cigarette. After glaring at me, he quickly crushed his cigarette and went away. It looked like there was no one below. If I'm going to escape, now's my only chance. Just when I thought that, a black car slid right under me and came to a sudden stop with an incredible squealing of the tires. Judging by the sound of tires, it seemed that they had several other allies and that one of them had come here to block his path. Not bad on Kasumi. To think you even sent a car to pick up your little sister when she's trying to get out through the emergency exit. Bam bam! The doors of the car were forcefully opened and then 3 black-suited men jumped out, looking up at the emergency staircase. Crap, our eyes met. 12 target found.
Northwest side emergency stairs, 3rd floor sent report support. Anji-sama, try not to move from there. Forgive our roughness.
The 3 of them began to clamber up the emergency exit. They already announced that they plan to be rough. This is pretty bad. As long as I don't stop breathing, they're probably been ordered to grab me no matter what, even if they rip out one of my arms. Clank, 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 clank. Their heavy, wild footsteps became a helix and began to rise from the lower floors, getting closer. At the entrance lobby of this building, a woman with 7 black-suited guards behind her advanced in leisurely pace. Seeing this ostentatious entrance, the security guards from the building ran up to them, asking if they had an appointment. It does look like Kairi. How typical of Tokyo people. Don't you understand the status of a person you are talking to without having to say her name?
My apologies. At our company, guests are to take a security.
Back down, scum. I came because I was caught by your president. Call Okunogi Tetsuru here? To think he would call me here and then not welcome me. How typical of Tokyo people.
My apologies. Welcome to the Ushiroya Group, Sumadera Kasumi-san.
With his secretary behind him, Okunogi dashedly appeared in from the elevator. Even though both of them wore bold smiles, they were wrapped in a tension reminiscent of the smell of gunpowder. Where is Angie? I came to greet that adorable daughter of my big sisters.
Strict observance of time is our motto here in the Ushiroya Group. The former chairman herself said that those who can't keep time can't keep contracts.
You called me all the way to Tokyo, and this is what all you have to show for it. You let her go, didn't you?
Please, she escaped from us. We did stall her for quite some time, but unsurprisingly, she did eventually smell a rat. Of course, this wouldn't have been a problem at all if you had arrived on time, Sumadera-san. Ah, these provincials and their loose concept of time.
What was that? What did you say to me?
You couldn't sense any of Kairi's open frankness in Kasumi's face. She wore the arrogance of the ancient Sumadera family towards the ruined Ushiroya family, as well as pride because she didn't want anyone to notice that her family was declining so much that they couldn't ignore the Ushiroya family's wealth. Even at a glance, it was easy to understand why Angie hated her on so deeply. She couldn't stand even a slight insult, and though she still smiled, her eyebrow twitched. At that time, the black-suited man behind Kasumi whispered to her, Ajisama has been found. We are currently dealing with her.
Oh, I'm glad we made it in time. Thank you, Okunogi. It seems I can finally take my mischievous niece home. I've waited so long to talk with that girl in my tea room with all of the tools prepared. Clank, 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 clank. As the violent sound drew a helix, it rushed up at me from below, threatening to swallow me up. Of course, even if I fight, there's no way I'll be able to win, and yet running into the building would be like jumping into a dead end of my own accord. My enemies will increase in number with time. If I don't do something here and now, I won't have any more chances to escape. Then 3 muscular black-suited men came into view below me. 1, 2, 3. 3 people. In other words, everyone who had gotten out of the car. If there had been just one of them, I might have been able to dropkick them or something and smash them in the head, which might have worked out, but it really would be impossible with 3 of them. Wait, 3? If there's just 3, I should be able to make it. I can do it. Take a deep breath. Ah! What? You idiot! Stop! Look out! Ah!
Oh, 1, calling 12, this package is secure. We received a response. What happened? Respond!
Or Jazz?
She's crazy, damn it!
Oh. See? That worked out perfectly, didn't it? There was just the 3 of them after all. I've already tried that once from a higher place. I knew I'd be able to jump down just 3 floors. It's a good thing that the car that came in was right beneath me. Even if it wasn't as pleasant as a trampoline, it broke my fall a little gently, a little roughly. How rude. You didn't have to dent that much. The roof of the car broke my fall, leaving a massive dent around my body. Car roofs are surprisingly delicate. I don't think it's because of my weight. Apparently the 3 people on the stairs hadn't planned on me jumping down. It seems they now realize— oh my gosh, turn this up! Oh! Oh! What do you mean? I said turn this up, not off. And I was about to mention that it's like actual jazz. It's chaotic. It's freeform, like you said. I love it. Oh my gosh, you don't hear this much in soundtracks. They usually just do non-freeform jazz. I do. As soon as I now realize that they've been outwitted and they were rushing down the stairs. I gotta run this and escape while I have the chance. I move my body, making clanking sounds on the car roof. But I've been naive. Of course they wouldn't all rush up the stairs without leaving one person behind. There was one black-suited man left in the driver's seat of the car that had broken my fall. He snuck out his head out the window, and when he realized what had fallen on him, he jumped out. In a rush, I jumped off the roof, but the black-suited man's reaction was really fast. Either there was a massive reward for the capturing me, or there'd be some harsh punishment in store for them if they let me get away. 50 secured! Secured! Ow, 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 ow! Don't touch me like that! Let go! I was mercilessly held down against the asphalt. I was being crushed face down, covered and pressed upon from above. I was told without a trace of elegance, and it was extremely practical and left me with no room for resistance. I tried to push back with both hands, searching for a way to resist, but I was being pushed down solidly, and I couldn't even tear myself off the asphalt. Then another car came, spilling its tires as it slid to a sudden stop. Is it all over now? Yeah! The man that had been crushing me let out a sharp cry. He was yelling straight into my ear, making my left ear ring. What in the world? Along with the black suit guy, I fell with the tongue sunk. After landing face up, the first thing I saw was his arms stuck out right in front of my eyes. Amakusa? What in the world are you doing here? Oh my goodness gracious! Amakusa Jusa? Who? Let's talk about that after we lost them. To the car, quickly, lady. Amakusa grabbed my arm, easily pulled me up, spinning me around with himself as the center of gravity. Just when I thought it was a little like a dance, he flung me through the open door into the driver's seat. I climbed over the handbrake and slid into the passenger seat. Pushing me in, Amakusa also got into the driver's seat. Since we suddenly accelerated while I was still on all fours, I had to kick and struggle around on the chair for a while like a turtle that's been flipped over. Amakusa checked the rearview mirror for cars in pursuit, but he flew into the artery of the big city without lowering his speed in the slightest. We sewed our way between cars one after another, just like a chase scene in some action movie. I was shaken by this horrible driving and had trouble sitting back down. Are you hurt, lady? I'm fine. Humans are surprisingly durable. Next time I try to escape a downward moving elevator, I'll jump out a window instead. I guess air divers are a hobby of yours, lady. Still, I recommend you grab a parachute next time. Sure, if I remember to do it after leaping. Yeah. Cool. He smacked the steering wheel, guffawing. Need an explanation for this flippantly talking man? Yes, please. His name is Amakusa Jusa. He was originally one on Eva's guards. Didn't she start to hate him because he chatted too much? He was much younger than the rest of the guards, but contrary to his outer flippancy, he'd hopped from the 1st Airborne of the JSDF to the French Foreign Legion, placing himself in overseas private military companies and high-class security companies, one after another, making for a pretty incredible and unique career. But I learned he deserted both the GSDF and the French Foreign Legion, and that he'd been arrested if he enters France again. Both of these flippant episodes were very typical of him. The guards were sternly told not to chat with me unnecessarily, but he came and took capacity, didn't he? Aunt Emma was apparently practically put off by that and had supposedly dismissed him shortly before she died. It's been a while since I've last heard that carefree tone. What happened after you got fired? I was coaching some people at Blackwater. When I came back to the country during my time off, President Okonugi offered me a high wage. So you deserted again. I wonder how a man like you can be useful for anything. Doesn't count as desertion as long as I come back next week. I talked with them yesterday. I was told that if some people might come to call on you, lady. Sorry, that turned out to be exactly right.
My name probably came up since I know you, and I've got lots of crazy experience. Thanks to you, it looks like I'm in for a happy vacation, plus some pocket money.
So Okonogi-san employed you as my guard.
He probably wants to buy some gratitude from you, Lee. After I got fired, I was indebted to President Okonogi in various ways. He's got some dirt on me here and there, and now I can't say no to him.
Seems like getting indebted to Okonogi-san can be pretty costly later on. So, where are you planning on taking me?
Anywhere. I'm employed until the weekend. Anything after that'll cost you extra.
How much per day?
I'll take 50,000. Plus expenses.
If you stop cracking jokes out down it, the period of employment isn't fixed yet. It might take several weeks.
That'll be tough. I have to call my boss to get an extension on my vacation.
More than anything, I want to investigate that day.
Oh, is this about Ronkinjima?
Exactly. What happened on that island 12 years ago. I want to investigate it with my own hands to my satisfaction.
Do you really expect to find anything new investigating something that old?
True. But this is a journey of my own self-satisfaction. Once that's over, I'll just throw my hands up and go over to the Sumadera family.
Didn't Onikamisumi say something about how she wanted to serve me some matcha? Oh,
Didn't Onikasumi say something about how she wanted to serve me some matcha? Maybe she'll serve me tea as in neon sharp wooden blocks clutching stones or something.
damn, that sounds freaky. Oh jeez, that was a lot. This scene is so goofy that it made me realize that Ryukishi can only write action scenes when it involves a magical anime woman in Twin Towers. It was a tad silly, but I liked it. It came to mind charming old action movies. Golden Line 3. Whoa! 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 Okay, no, I'm not falling for this. She's gonna be a nothing burger character. I don't care. It is very good art, though. Characters updated. I shall check after I'm done reading chat. Hey, Amakusa. Angie side. This sucks. I need to class back to more characters. No, you don't need to. It's fine. We good. That's okay. You can keep it. I'm afraid you cannot stop it. Human, witch, and Andrew. Cool description. Sumadera Kasumi, daughter of the declining noble family Sumadera, Ushinomiya Kairi's younger sister. She hates her sister Kairi so much that she loathes everything about her, so she also strongly hates Angie. She is the opposite of the freewheeling person Kairi was and holds appearances in high regard, possessing a strong ambition for philanthropy.
I mean, I guess that's interesting. But I don't know. There's several opposing factions in the Sumonera family, and they are constantly engaged in several secret feud over who holds the best wealth Angie holds. We'll see. We'll see. Gray. Queen of Suspicion. Was that true? That is true. What Phoenix said, I mean. She seemed to do this repeatedly as if she found it funny. At that point, it was no longer for economic reasons, it was her ass. Okay. Wait, one second. Where's my thing? Oh, it's in a drawing? Is that even a drawing? Yeah, here it is. Okay, Kasumi... She either has to be void or blood, right? Or maybe Prince of Breath? Because she is taking Angie's freedom away? Nah, I don't like that. Ooh! Thief of Blood. Kasumi is Thief of Blood. Duh. That one's, yeah. That makes sense. What did I make Angie? I made Angie a Sylph or Witch of Life? I still haven't decided, but Angie is definitely life aspect. I already did it. I need to continue. Okay. This guy. I do not envy. I did one for like every JoJo character. Okay, I'm in deep. Since Angie has no desire to do... Okay, this guy's definitely a seer. He has to be a seer. Maybe a maid, but most likely a seer. Putting him in a difficult position as well. He was previously the president of a foodstuff distribution company and had very close relationship with Hideyoshi's company. Because of that long-lasting relationship, I practically trusted him, and he was so Seer of Light would be good, but... No. Also, I forgot that Virginia is no longer a Seer of Light. Seer of Void is Virginia's new thing for sure. I was strict. So maybe he could take the position as Seer of Light instead of her. But nah, he's not actually actively looking for the truth. He believes Eva. So I think Seer of Life. Or Seer of Breath. Absolutely, Seer of Breath. He is a Seer of Breath. This outfit, dude. It's so the world ends with you. He literally looks like what's his name? Omomimoto? Motto something. Made for me. The trip is crazy. Okay. Amakusa Jusa. A former guard of Eva's. Okay, so first off, if like from what we know, 100% breath. He has breath aspect. No question about it. Anyways, an extreme thrill seeker who accepts dangerous jobs for little pay. He had served as Angie's bodyguard before, but also he broke Eva's strict orders to not talk to Angie countless times. Eva ultimately took a dislike to him and let him go. Angie herself didn't find him all that bad because he was someone she could talk to. GSDF or Legion of Private Military Companies, this man has traveled them all and has skill in counter sniping and escorting VIPs. Okay, breath 100%. Now, air of breath makes sense. Rogue of breath. Never mind. Rogue of breath. 100% rogue of breath. These have been really easy to classify. Alright, we're good. Well, there you have it. Easy peasy. My apologies, we lost sight of them. A single man thought to be an associate assisted in her escape. Judging by his position of a sun god and his driving skills, he's no amateur. Over! It's over! I see. Thank you. What a shame, Okonogi. Shall I take this as your answer?
Letting her get away was your blunder. It has nothing to do with me.
I do wish to prepare some matcha for you as well in the near future. The next time you're in Kyoto, please stop by. I'm going.
Oh, are you leaving already? I could offer you some Shasuke first.
With her back still facing Okunogi, she laughed softly but with an increasingly shrill and hateful tone, using that as a substitute for a sharp parting remark. Just as she stopped laughing, her features suddenly changed to look like a demon's. But because her back was facing him, Okunogi couldn't see that expression. Okunogi watched her go, laughing coolly. His secretary whispered over his shoulder. Are you sure about this? Lady Angie is our company's primary stockholder. One second. If the Sumodera family becomes her guardian...
I get it. But you know, we're the world-famous Ushiromiyas. We can't let them take us lightly. Still, it looks like that guy managed it pretty well. All that's left is to let Angie-chan do as she pleases. I'm counting on you, Hawakusa. Kasumi-sama, the escaping car was a rental. The license plate to display was a fake. We're clearly dealing with a pro.
Ah, wait, what am I doing? Okay, Kasumi-sama, the escaping car was a rental. The license plate was displayed was a fake. They're clearly dealing with a pro. They'll probably abandon the car. Pursuit will be difficult. Should we have the police chase them? Yes. Shall we have them search for our runaway daughter? They are getting paid with our taxes, so the police must be of some use every once in a while. When I left the mansion, I boldly told Mother to leave it to me, didn't I? Do you intend to embarrass me further? It looks like it might be better for me to serve some matcha for everyone at once, doesn't it? Our underground tea room is cramped, so you have to wait in line.
No, we will search with everything we have.
She really is a cute kid, just like Nessan. Especially the way she freewheels and does as she pleases. Now I can't see anything but Miss Nessan. I'm truly looking forward to it. If only I could invite Nessan's daughter to my tea room, right? This is odd, for sure. It is odd. I trust Ryukishi. I trust Ryukishi. It's odd. It's odd. What Echo says classified me? Ooh. Okay. Wait. This was rough because he's such a complex character. Okay. Everything. Void is good because of how much of his past is... No. Void is secrets and not mysteries, but like secrets and lies. he knows his past, so no. Doom makes sense, because of all the how crazy he goes sometimes, and because he seems to be surrounded by destruction and pain. Blood is good because of his brother, but that's not his entire character. Rage, maybe because of the same thing of how he crashes out, but it's not the whole character. Heart, I don't think so. Time, he doesn't seem like a very patient person. Light, I mean, he's trying to see the truth of what happened to his brother, but that's not all. Life makes sense because he's trying. Okay, Doom, life. Breath, freedom is a big part of Nicholas's character, but Breath is for like freedom and creativity and like truly letting go. Maybe you might argue for Breath, but personally, I don't buy it. It's either life or Doom. And I really like life because of how much of his life he needs to take back from the trauma of his brother, take it back from the trauma of his father and mother, take his life back from the trauma of Garlemont, right? So I'm going with life. But now, which class? Page of Life is good. Yeah, I like Page of Life. Page of Life makes sense. Page of Life or Rogue of Doom. Rogue of Doom because he constantly keeps surrounding himself with pain and destruction, and with his trauma he keeps bringing it all upon himself. Or Page of Life because a page is someone who needs to grow into their aspect, so they're learning how to take their life back. So there you go. Page of Life or Rogue of Doom. I would never trust that man. We'll see. Before was crashing now, though. You ready to go? I mean, come on, it's me. When has that ever been not a thing? Y'all know what you got yourselves into. I wish I could contribute, but I haven't reached the point in Homestuck where any of these have been explained to me. The funny thing is that they don't ever get explained. It's just they get explained by showing you the characters who have these aspects and classes. So you see them and you start to connect dots. So that's why the fandom calls it class specting. Specting as in suspecting, because it's mostly built on theories and vibes. But that's, yes. I never hated Homestuck until Wonder Silver started inserting crap into it into my peak favorite VN. I have no sympathy for you. I like both equally. Alright? So this brings me joy. Interesting. I really badly want to ask you to explain what the aspects and crap mean so I can tell you what I feel his is. I gladly will, but after the stream. Jules is the best Umineko member because she's not always here 100% of the time, but through her sheer power of love, she just knows what are the good streams and it's always in her. It's just, I'm telling you, Jules is one of the best ones. She just has innate power. Absolutely, Phoenix. Absolutely, you shall get for the classes and the aspects. Did someone that a family sure moved quickly? Did Okonogi-san sell me out? You're joking. He's my client. If he sold you out, he wouldn't have hired me, right? I guess that's true. So that's why you got off the elevator at the 3rd floor. Wait, so you say Umineko is crashing out, but you just mean Sebs? Because Jules isn't there. Him having a car waiting in the underground parking lot was just too convenient. I figured Okonogi-san sold me out. That's really funny. I figured Okunugi sold me out, though I guess by now it's impossible to prove whether there was an ambush set up in the parking lot or not. I see, that poor president guy. Looks like you don't trust him a bit, lady. That car in the basement was mine. Huh? He was talking about you, Amakusa? I freaked when the elevator came and was empty. I wonder what would have happened by now if I hadn't been listening in on the radio. So what's going on? If I obediently believe Okunugi-san and gone to the parking lot, there would have been no need for me to do that jump off the 3rd floor. Pretty much, yeah. I see you! I see you, Ryukishi! I see you! It's telling, he's talking to me right now. He's talking to me and telling me that I shouldn't doubt myself and I shouldn't think I'm falling for red herrings and I should always believe what I think. I understand now. Thank you, Goat. Well, it turned out okay in the end. What the hell? If I hadn't suspected President Okunugi, I could have easily escaped without getting caught in a tough spot. President Okunugi might have sold me out. No, since Paranoia told me that it was better to assume that he had sold me out, I suppose and concluded that he sold me out. Because of my inability to believe in him regardless of this truth, my truth became he sold me out. I thought back on President Okunugi's words. Can you really call truth without certainty truth? Truth can change completely depending on whether you have love or not. In the end, perhaps truth itself doesn't exist. There are as many interpreted truths as there are people who speak for the truth. If I can't accept something that fluid as truth, what does the truth that I really want to find exist? And is it something I'll be able to see with my eyes? Even if someone sticks the truth right there in front of me and says it's the truth, I might not be able to see it. Control F truth. 500 results. Without love, it cannot be seen, huh? Oh, the game's good again. Oh, thank goodness. This fragment of yours is very lively. It doesn't bore me. You told me something. You commanded me to search for the truth of 12 years ago. But there's something I'm not getting. What's that? What is the truth? There are as many truths as there are people. There are as many interpretations as there are people. And those can be twisted by opinions and changed indefinitely. Is truth really that unfixed and vague? That's right. Truth isn't fixed. It can be like a particle or like a wave, and it can hold conflicting forms at the same time. You are free to believe that the Katsushi box is alive or dead. But the truth is very delicate. It can change its appearance just by being observed. You're talking about stuff like Schrodinger's cat box. Nonsense. If you open the box, you learn the truth. Discussion about what happens before you open it is just armchair theory. Is that right? And yet, in order to deny the abstraction theory, you need to open the box. It is impossible to negate any idea about the contents of the box that cannot be opened. That is what this is, what the truth is. As long as truth is denied, it keeps its form. That's right. As long as truth is observed, it keeps its form. In other words, it isn't exposed, any reckless statement can suffice as truth. Yes. Even if they contradict each other, endless ideas can exist as truth at the same time without being negated. So even something as screwed up as my family being captured by the Rokujima witches shut up 12 years ago for all eternity can exist as truth as long as we don't know what happened 12 years ago. This witch called Beatrice forcefully made room for endless imaginings in the Rokujima of 12 years ago, enveloping all of us inside this cat box. Everything inside the unopenable box is truth. That's right. We don't know what happened on that island, so it becomes endless. The air riders see money instantly pop into their bank account when they bring up their Schrodinger's cat box. That's assuming no one opens it up. I just have to watch it open. But that box was closed up 12 years ago and I don't know where it is. Even if I visit Ronkinjima, just what can I learn about what happened 12 years ago on that desolate island? Who knows? I wonder what you could learn. This is something that can only be done by the person who is able to walk around freely in the world of 1998, 12 years in the future. The final act of the final witch, Hanji Beatrice. Wait, so like Umineko? Umi Sea? Neko cat? The cat box of the sea? Wait. Was that on purpose? Tell me the truth. Beatrice's game board lasts 2 days, from October 4th, 1986 to the 5th. In other words, you're a piece who can move freely outside her game board. And even Beatrice cannot influence its future that lies outside the game board. If you say it like that, it sounds like I'm a pretty overpowered piece. The future of 12 years ago, 12 years later, in which you are placed certainly as distant. Yeah, bro, that's actually really cool. However, the further a piece is placed in the future, the stronger power it holds. I told you, didn't I? The truth changes its appearance when it is observed. Come to think of it, I heard something like that once. Even if one day, all of a sudden, a star with the constellation Centaurus were to explode, the light from that explosion would have to cross 4.4 light years, so it would take it 4.5 years to reach the Earth. Sounds right? In other words, even if the sun in Centaurus has already died, people on Earth would be able to perceive that fact for 4.5 years, because no method of perception exists that is faster than the speed of light. When we learn that the sun in Centaurus has exploded, we Earth people will paint over our history of 4.5 years ago with a new truth. Black-tailed gull. Black-tailed, like the black tail of a cat, huh? Interesting. We will revise history with a new fact that it exploded 4.5 years ago. However, for the 4.5 years period until we learn that, despite the fact that it has already died, the mistaken truth that the sun of Centaurus still exists will be able to exist. The truth of the future wins against the truth of the past. That's right. By itself, the Ronkejima accident gave rise to nothing but suspicion of a conspiracy involving Aunt Eva and the Ushinomiya family assets. But later on, it was dramatized and linked to the occult, and the conspiracy was painted over by the legend of the witch. Even though it was clamored over as a conspiracy at the time of the crime, later on, strange occult theories which claimed that it was the work of the witch ran rampant and began to The conspiracy theories will probably be forgotten over time, and only the more bizarre and impressive witch theory will continue to remain as a superstition, eventually covering up the conspiracies. That's right. The false truth that exists before the light from an exploding star reaches Earth is almost as the conspiracy theory, which is a human theory. The wine bottle with a letter in it that drifted ashore several years later, the message bottle painted over that theory and made things return to the occult theory, which is a witch's theory. That's right. A witch didn't exist during 1986. The witch took control of Ronkejima because she was observed several years later by us humans in the future, thanks to that message bottle. A small revision is necessary. The witch could have existed even during 1986. As one of many endless possibilities that can exist. Certainly. She disappeared if she was observed, so she curls up inside the cat box. That's what makes the message bottle so nasty. The witch tried to get out of the box. She made it so that she'd be observed, weeding out possibilities that conflicted with the witch's theory. In other words, she made it impossible to negate her. She negated all possibilities other than the witch theory. What the hell? So in other words, Beatrice satisfied the devil's proof with a frontal attack. And it was part of the witch's plan from the beginning. The message bottle is information observed in the future after 1986. It cannot be observed by Beatrice or Butler. It can only be observed by Angie Beatrice. I really didn't want to investigate the message bottle. After all, reading that would be like listening to the witches say. I thought the witch's theory was just a crazy fantasy, so I thought of it as nothing more than a waste of time. but Okunugi-san told me. You can see things in 3 dimensions with only one eye. So you mean that while looking at it from the viewpoint of denying witches, you must also look at it from the viewpoint of accepting witches? That's the correct way of thinking. The number of viewpoints is like a demonidator. If you have one viewpoint, the mystery is the numerator doesn't decrease in the slightest. However, the more your number of viewpoints increases, the more the mystery begins to be divided. That's the first time I've seen the text box increase in size. That was creepy. That scared me. That gave me a fright. I'm a bit unsettled by that. I understand. There was a message bottle that washed up on a neighboring island several years after the crime. That passed into the hands of the Diliante. I made an appointment with him just in case. I was able to hear on Eva's say from Okunugi-san. Next up is the witches say. Why don't I listen to Beatrice's say? Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! I wanted to stop, but one more chapter. Just one. Let me drink water. Right back. 3 months left to live. It was last year when you said that, right, Dr. Nanjo?
I only spoke of what I could comprehensively determine from his physical condition at the time.
Wait, there's a creature outside my window. Yo, creature! Hi. Funny enough, it is a black cat. What does that mean? As a result, this year too, it just so happens.
So even though it's doubtful whether Dad lasts to the end of the year, he's still totally focused on his occult research.
Come on, just because I tapped glass, whatever. Yeah.
And you still say he has only 3 months left, Doctor. Like I said, Kinzo-san's... Should you be happy that our respected father is still high spirits? Out of a sense of parental respect, each of you is showing it to great father. I can see how upset you are that he's unwilling to meet up with you.
Considering that everyone has started aiming for the inheritance what the sun is in the sky, I can understand why father wouldn't want to see you. You've got it wrong, Natsui-san. We just
That is an immortal, so he'll die someday. We aren't telling him to die, we're just saying that he will die sooner or later. We're just talking together about how to prepare for that.
And that is precisely what is so disrespectful.
Stop it. You'll make your headache worse.
Kraus told Natsuki, who had risen from his chair in agitation, to sit down. Trying to smooth over the atmosphere which had suddenly overcome Phil with suspicion, Hideyoshi put on a forced smile and motioned for everyone to calm down.
Natsuri-san, don't misunderstand. People say you should always clean up after yourself, right? We're just talking about seeing him off. We're discussing this so we can see Father off neatly when he takes off on the journey he's eventually gonna make. That's just like you, Hideyoshi-san. Even though you're saying the same thing, you make it sound so intellectual.
Yes, that's right. Unlike you, Nissan.
Quit it. We aren't getting anywhere. So like we were saying, Aniki, forget all this about the inheritance. I don't even care if Dad hits us. To make a long story short, we want to meet Dad directly and say hello. Even if he says he doesn't want to. If he's locked up in his study, he won't care. We don't care if we have to borrow a key from Genji-san. Right, Rosa?
Well, it's not like we're forcing you. It's just, we haven't said hello to Father in such a long time. And his remaining life really short, then there's a chance we might never be able to see him again. Today might be our final opportunity to exchange words with Father. That's right, just like Rosa-san says. If he only has 3 months left, it wouldn't be odd for him to pass away anytime now, right? Are you saying that despite that, we don't even get the right to talk with him one last time? Regardless of the circumstances, isn't that just a bit too much? If greeting Father were truly what you wish to do, I'm sure he'll happily allow you to meet with him. But Father has already heard about the disrespectful topic you hope to raise. No one will want to meet up with you under those conditions. The reason you cannot meet with Father is because of your own doing and nothing else, is it not?
Exactly. You shouldn't have to rake your brains to understand why Father doesn't wish to see your faces, right? Father has seen through all of your tight financial situations.
What are you talking about? I don't have a clue what you're going on about, Nissan.
Did you really think that I didn't know about the state you're in?
Eva and the rest realized that he had seen through their current lack of funds. They alternated between bluffing and returning to the point at hand and arguing back. They repeatedly pressed Kraus to let them meet with Kinzo. The sweet smell of the black tea Rosa had gone out of her way to buy had been completely wasted. I don't know what I did. I don't think I did anything. I got happy that I saw Natsuki again. I don't know what I could have said. The only thing she was going on about now was that the children weren't here for this. The fact that they'd gone to play at the beach right after lunch had been their only salvation. Eva made us though to tackle Kraus and Hideyoshi, and Kairi cut in between them, trying to calm both sides. Then Kairi took a deep breath and spoke. I'm sorry, Kraus-Nissan. I know I'm an outsider, but I wonder if you'll let me say one thing. I have a proposition.
What is it, Kairi-san? Kairi-san.
First, this includes my husband as well. For many years, we have belittled the efforts you've made by living with Father and taking care of him. Isn't that right?
That's... well...
Oh! When he said Thanksgiving, I thought he was being grateful that I was reading another chapter. I see. Well, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. There's a whole bunch of nothing. Read the next one too.
We've got it easy since we get to go outside, but Aniki's babysitting Dad for decades now, and that must have been a lot of work. I'll accept that, but what's your point, Kairi?
You must acknowledge that Krasny-san is father's caretaker. Isn't that right? We were always feared father and had pushed the task of caring for him onto Krasny-san. Everyone should acknowledge his efforts. Isn't that right, Eva-san? And so what? Nisan is father's caretaker. Don't decide things on your own, outsider.
Hey now, calm down. Kairi-san, what are you talking about? Kairi, please continue.
We should be more grateful towards Krasny-san and Natsuhina-san. We should thank them for always taking care of father. It's our lack of gratitude that's to blame for these wasteful conflicts we keep having. Isn't that right, Krasny-san?
I'm surprised. I did not think you, Kairi-san, would be able to understand our efforts, which even my two siblings have not stopped to consider.
It's a natural duty for the successor of the Ushima family headship. That's right. It's your responsibility as the successor to the headship, isn't it? It's because you take care of father that we must acknowledge you as a successor. Hey! Why are you bringing this up by yourself? You're just an outsider!
Wait, Aniki. That's right. It's just like Kairi says. Because you take care of Dad, you're the successor, Aniki. It's just like you said.
Oh? Rosa noticed and then Eva did. Eva's barking demeanor towards Kairi was advancing the discussion on her own disappeared in a flash. But she instead stared at Krause and Natsuhi. Natsuhi couldn't understand that sudden change and was slightly flustered. She's stupid. Krasny-san, if you'll accept just a few conditions, we won't ask you to let us meet father again until he dies. Of course, we won't demand to be present at his deathbed. We wouldn't even mind being absent at the funeral.
Oh, where are you going with this? But I may as well listen for now. Let's hear your terms.
First, the term successor to the headship refers to the caretaker of the current head, Ushiramiya Kinso.
And then?
Second, the duty of the caretaker is to look after Ushiramiya Kinso for the rest of his life. To make things simple, the caretaker's job is to care for him until his final moments. You were prepared to do that from the beginning, Krasny-san, so that won't cause any problems.
Naturally. I have no objections to either of those terms. I'm already carrying them out.
Third, on the off chance that the caretaker is neglectful in his responsibilities of supervision, he shall be deprived of his rights as a caretaker. With that sentence, all slang disappeared from Krause's face. Natsui alone was still having trouble figuring out what it meant.
Oh. And just what are these? Responsibilities of supervision that the caretaker bears.
And his supervision so that father can live the rest of his life in the best possible health. I'll be more detailed than that. In that case, that father dies anything other than a natural death, the caretaker will be deprived of his rights as caretaker, and his status as a successor to the headship will be lost. If that happens, the next highest in rank, Eva Nessan, will be selected as a successor. What did you say? How can you shamelessly speak such nonsense?
My. The caretaker certainly has its heavy responsibility. However, people can die in many ways. For example, senile old people sometimes die when food gets caught in their throats. Normally, this is called death by old age in the broadest sense. But with your argument, that becomes a death by accident, and I bear the responsibility of supervision. That is unjustly disadvantageous to me.
I have no intention of forcing such an unfair argument on you. I'm referring to the kind of thing that the caretaker could have prevented beforehand by taking care of and keeping his eyes on father. It may be the interest's job to carry the food to father's mouth, but whether he swallows it or not is clearly outside the caretaker's responsibility. I would have absolutely no problem with the example you raised, Krasny-san.
Oh, so what kind of case are you referring to that might cause the caretaker to be blamed for making a blunder?
For example, if he disappeared.
Oh?
It seems that right now father is in firm control of himself, but dementia might begin to sit in. He might wander around when you aren't looking and get into some kind of accident, or he might get lost in the forest and go missing. Wouldn't this type of case clearly be responsible of the caretaker? Father's mind is perfectly healthy. There is no need to bring up dementia. One day, suddenly, I saw father going to the forest. I chased after him, but I couldn't find him. I called the police and searched, but after being unable to find him after seven whole years, I had him declared legally dead. My point is that we won't accept that if you use a story like that, treat him as dead. When father passes away, an autopsy will certainly be carried out, and we will confirm that he died of old age in the most general meaning within the bounds of common sense. A death of any other cause will be held as the caretaker's responsibility. See? That are all things you have toiled away all this time, Kurase-san. These aren't strange conditions or anything of the sort, right? You are mocking us! Disgracefully so! I find it hard to imagine why my husband must be coerced into a rule that disgraces him in this way! Actually, I've been suspecting it since this last year. No, everyone here probably suspects it as well. Evanes-san and Hideyoshi-san, Rudolph-san and Rosa-san too. Everyone has suspected it the whole time, but it was so frightening to imagine that no one actually said it. Okay, this is crazy because this is just what I was going on about in my voice messages. I was thinking, did I even say this in the voice messages? I think I just inferred it. I was too busy crying about Natsuki to say it. But I was inferring that Kitsu might have been missing or dead for years now, and that Natsuki was the one that was pretending. Oh, right, I didn't say it because I disproved myself. That's why I asked you all. This guy, like, shut up. That's why I asked you all who were the people that have seen Kraus face to face, and I declared that it was only Kanon, Genji, Shannon, and Natsuki. Everyone else has just heard him through the door. And even then, I believe it's only been Kraus who has heard through the door. So I inferred that, but I didn't expand upon it. But what I was trying to infer is the fact that the thought came to me that Kitsu might have been dead the whole time, and I blame Natsuki as being the one posting as Kitsu this whole time, and that's why she cared so much about the family. But it could be a team effort between Natsuki and Kraus. But either way, even though I inferred it, even though they're inkling to that right now, I don't believe it. I don't like the theory of it at all, because I want Kitsu to be the headmaster, the mastermind. So there's a theorem that I will hold in the back of my head, but I don't believe it one bit.
I see. So this is what you're trying to say. That father is already dead and I have been hiding it.
That's right. Oh, Butler! Butler's on screen! Yes! 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 Game is good. The game is good again. Double good. He's back! That's right. That's one of the theories I thought of as a key to solve the last mystery in the previous game. Give me the very last bit. The mystery of the one who killed Dr. Nanjo. That's right. The witch definitely said a lot of She mentioned the names of all 80 people and announced whether they were alive or dead, and then she claimed that there were no humans beside them. But with this theory, I can wave my way through that gap. That Kitsu wasn't one of the 80. I see. So there's one of the answers that doesn't cause those two to contradict. Makes sense. See what I'm saying? You catch up pretty quick. Let's see, it's nice that I don't have to explain. No 19th person exists on this island, and yet the strict laws makes it an unknown new character. In other words, the names of all 18 people don't necessarily correspond to the 18 people on this island. Hey, they're finally catching up to me. Gosh darn these hiccups! I'm thinking, wait. Yeah, nothing to say. They're just finally going into what I've been saying. That's it. The witch mentioned the names of 18 people one after another and announced that whether they were alive or dead. And on top of that, she announced that there were no humans other than the 18, that there was a single illusion in there. It was never guaranteed that the 18 names equals the 18 people in the island. When she said of the 18 and announced who was alive and who was dead, she hit the name of Culprit X and said by doing that, even though the culprit was on this island, she was able to leave him out of the list of living or dead people. The person who was mixed in wasn't actually on the island, so he didn't count towards the total number of people on the island. By this, even though the culprit counted towards the total of 18 people on the island, it was possible for this name not to be listed. The two statements in red are completely independent, so this theory creates no contradictions. Someone's name was used to hide the existence of the culprit. That name must satisfy several conditions. First of all, even though this person isn't on the island, they've got to be someone we think is on the island. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to trick us. And it's best if this person happens to be dead. No alibi is more perfect than that. After all, at that point, the mystery was based on the fact that the crime was impossible for all 18 people. Is it something like that? Yeah, that's it. And that person was grandfather. Right now, there's only one thing Kairi's son can say. We thought grandfather was locked up in his study, saying that he didn't want to meet anyone. But there's a possibility that he's actually dead already. And that Uncle Kraus is lying when he claims that grandfather's alive. That's right. Grandfather was closing up in his room this whole time and no one saw his face. Maybe he was already dead. And Uncle Kraus and the others were conspiring together trying to trick everyone. If Kinzo dies, the distribution of the inheritance occurs. However, if Kinzo doesn't die... No. If he dies but it isn't announced, the distribution of the inheritance won't take place. In other words, Uncle Kraus could have all of grandfather's wealth to himself. That's right, he's got more than enough motive. Maybe a 19-person X really doesn't exist on this island. But a person X existed, and that person was the 18th person. In other words, there were originally 7 people on this island, not 18. Then an unknown person X snuck in and committed the crime. How's that bad though? Come on! Have I solved the final biggest mystery from this last time? His brother claimed that forcefully the crisper and the clapping came out of nowhere and their surroundings turned bright. So, whatever. Becoming the usual witch's tea room. Bravo, bravo! I wish I could deny that someone as incompetent as you has finally gotten the feel for it, but somehow or another, you've managed to come up with a single answer! Even a lump of concrete can't stop thinking. So you have now finally evolved to a being with intelligence! You might say that you've finally taken a step forward from the crying creature you were before, just licking my shoes and grinding your teeth. I can't believe that stupid wordplay threw me for so many loops last time. My lame ass pisses even me off. Alright, Battle, repeat it! If you can announce that the 80 people on this island, including grandfather, just try and do it! Oh, I hope she does. Yeah, you can't. Because he was already dead. This is the end of your deception! Well now, what have we here? Shall I slice that in two with my red truth? No, no. It might also be good to hold back for now and let you get all excited. If I'm going to push you off a cliff anyway, it would be more interesting to lure you to a higher place first. Absolutely, absolutely. Kinsa was there. Like, they're going on the right path. They're going on the path that I concluded, but they're not quite there yet. So no, she could easily say that Kinsa is one of the 18 because he was. Okay. As though she was saying that the answer I reached was impossibly ridiculous. Compared to me, annoyed as I was with the witch's attitude, Gretel had a blank and composed expression on her face, almost as though she expected the witch to act that way. I see. Just how Butler has learned and grown, so has the witch. What's wrong, Battle? Don't act so tough! I asked if you can repeat it! Answer! Stop it, Butler. The witch won't answer so easily. She won't do it until she thinks that'll benefit her. What? What do you mean? You've been toyed with by this red truth in the games up until now, so the witch has used it many times. By now the situation is different. You're trying to draw the red truth out of her and are instead using it as her weapon. In this situation, there's no way the witch will keep firing off the red without reason, right? Gretel, or whoever you are. I've been attacked. I wish you were here to see this, twin. Oh. One sec. It seems your mind is quite sharp, unlike Butler's. What a fearsome enemy I've welcomed in. That is correct. When Butler hopes I'll use the red truth, do I have any responsibility to do so? No! I don't even have a crumb from the croissant you ate this morning's worth of responsibility to police you! You bastard! Yes, that's the face! I started playing with that red truth just because I wanted to see that face. I have no reason to play around if I won't give you a chance to see you look like that. You just don't like Lucian, right? Just say whatever you can to trick me because you can answer my demand won't work. Don't be so full of yourself. An answer like that can be cut to pieces without any effort. But I won't go out of my way to speak in red. I won't say it because that's what you're asking me to do. Do you know why? You just said it? You want to push him off at the sweetest spot. This ill-natured witch is saying she won't use the red anymore because that's what you want. In other words, she won't go along with this game of telling her to repeat things anymore. Exactly. Unlike Butler, everything goes quickly with this girl with no need for explanations. I will say what I please with the red truth at the time I desire. That's it. Basically, if the witch is right to use the red truth as she pleases, she doesn't have to use it at whatever time the human inside desires. But even that depends on the situation. The situation? What do you mean? The witch has no responsibility to respond when you tell her to repeat something, but it doesn't become her responsibility if and only if you claim can destroy the witch theory. After all, in this trial, court without a judge, that which is not refused becomes the truth. Just like how the witch theory made by the witch will instantly become truth if you collapse and stop thinking. Then, since she doesn't have a counter-argument for my guess, that means it's right. It's right that the culprit is the mysterious 18% X and grandfather is already dead. At least as the witch argues back, the truth always loses to a new truth further in the future. The tricky part is, even if the timing of the counter-argument is up to the witch. In other words, maybe your reasoning just now was correct. Or maybe the witch is refraining from arguing back even though you're wrong. Or the witch may be ignoring it because it doesn't shake the basis of the witch theory in the first place. But either way, we can't tell the difference at the current time. Is that more or less it? Damn you, Lady Barcastel, for throwing in such a troublesome piece. Thanks to that, I'm losing all my lines. The witch has learned that she can respond to your demands to repeat praises at a later time. Maybe you could even call it a delayed move. She's messing with me. So even if I announce some mistaken reasoning that there's a possibility the Belta would intentionally let me flounder about without denying the guess. And at the very end, when I propose an even more massive line of reasoning, she can cut it off at the base and spin everything around. A single piece of reasoning becomes a bridge to the next piece. By demanding that she repeat lines, I've been able to strengthen my position in advance bit by bit. But since that bastard Battle learned this strange delay tactic, I can no longer confirm or deny my reasoning. This is like finally finding stuff that'll let me search around in the darkness only to listen right away. I'm just stuck now, right? Hey, Battler! If you make a despairing face like that, I won't be able to stop drooling, you see? From the beginning, that staff was nothing more than something I gave you because you were so worthless. All this means is that you can finally challenge me without a handicap, right? But that alone doesn't change the fact that demanding that you repeat things is one of Battler's ways to fight back. As I already said, as long as it's something fatal, it'll destroy the witch's theory. The witch is obligated to argue back, and therefore to speak with the red truth. Well, the timing of that counter-argument is up to the witch, and must be performed eventually. Isn't that right? That may be so. But I cannot deny the tricks done by humans theory Butler lays out by the time the game ends. Butler will use that as the reason to deny me, and it will be possible for him to proclaim this theory. So should we view this as a restriction on the witch's side, then the trick theory laid out by the human side? In other words, what he tells you to repeat must be countered during the game, during the episode. That is so. Butler's goal is to show that he can explain the entire pleasant game I have laid out on this island with humans and deny me. If Butler succeeds in that, at that time he will become the victor of this game. Let me confirm the rules. Should we view the time the game ends as refreshing to 24 o'clock on October 5, 1986, going by the time of the Rokijima in the game? I have no problems with that. At the time the game ends, the human side must make static theory using tricks for all of the mysteries. And the witch side cannot argue back, the enemy side can proclaim its victory. Does that work? Let's be more specific. When the game ends, the witch's side will be given a chance to argue back. Let's decide on an amount of time, 1 minute. If you cannot carry out your counter-argument within 1 minute, victory will be proclaimed. Then allow me to impose the same rule to you. At the beginning of the game ends, the human side will be granted 1 minute to counter the mysteries that has been given. If even a single mystery has not been countered within that time, it becomes the witch's victory and the game is over. It would be such a killjoy to have the game stop for lengthy consideration, right? You asshole. Moving things along without me, but I more or less get what's going on. Even if the lines I demand that you repeat aren't countered instantly, they've got to be countered eventually. Yes, that's right. If that must happen before 0001 on October 6th. But be careful. She only has to cut up one of the things you tell her to repeat. You can't proclaim your victory unless you solve all the puzzles. Just as I can use the red. From now on, I will allow you to use the blue, Butler. I'm thinking. Wait. Blues are going to be lies, but how is Butler gonna use that? This is literally Danganronpa V3, dude! We can use lives now. Okay, wait. Okay. Chill out, little bro. While explaining my magical murders with human tricks, you may state your claims in blue. I am responsible for countering your blue with a red by the end of the game. Blue? So I'll talk in blue when I tell you to repeat things. Not quite. When you told me to repeat lines, you were able to do it for any trivial thing. But the blue is a little more restrictive. Unless it by itself denies witches, it would not be valid. It's starting to get confusing, but it's more or less something like this. I don't get it. For example, let's take one of the riddles in the past when I asked her to repeat something. The actual number of master keys is 5. There had been to confirm that there really were 5 master keys, and she claimed there were no more than 5. But since that by itself won't deny witches, I can't say it in blue. So in order to speak it in blue, I need to say something like this. The actual number of master keys was greater than 5. The culprit entered or exited the room with that extra key. Only then would the witch who claimed that this was a closed room murder made with magic be responsible for making a counter-argument. In other words, I can't demand that she repeat something that merely confirms the premises of my reasoning. That'll probably be a significant disadvantage for me. Crap. It's enough to make the red bat that used to toy with me until now look extremely merciful. I don't get it. Okay. So, basically she can't use red? No, wait. If I want her to repeat something, I need to say it in blue. And the blue needs to be something that has no possibility of witches being involved. Okay, I think I'm getting it. She says red, blue tries to defy statement with blue, now blue needs to be repeated with red. I see. Okay, no, that's cute. That's Danganronpa. Never mind. It's Danganronpa, so I get it now. That's cool. That's really fun. I like that. Damn it. So even if I create a theory for a particular closed room and speak in blue, about to deny it at the very end, I won't even have time to create my next theory. That rule's awful, horribly bad for me. Are you gonna surrender before the fight begins already? Calm down. No one said you could only use the blue once for each mystery. Do you know what that means? No? What does it mean? In the pitiful way you've been fighting up until now, you've made a single theory glance at the witch's complexion. And if that one didn't work, you then start making another theory. You won't counter a witch like that. How should I fight it? You don't mean... Yes, that's right. You don't attack her with riddles with a point. You assault them with a wall. You said so yourself in an earlier game. The force of your reasoning should be like that. Assault with a wall. That's right, I said so myself earlier. Guessing and trying to expose the mystery is like trying to shoot a distant target with an arrow. Until now, I've just been shooting off arrow after arrow, asking the witch if I scored a hit. And then preparing my bow again once I've told that I've missed. There's no way I hit at that rate. Bullets might be a better example than arrows. If you take one shot after another at a distant target with a handgun, you probably won't hit it easily. How can you hit it? If a handgun doesn't work, use a shotgun. Instead of a single bullet, blast her down with shot comprised of countless projectiles at once. Shot scatters so it impacts a wide area. That makes it optimal for shooting small, fast targets like birds. That's right, there's no rule that says I have to guess like a pistol shooting one shot off at a time. Making a single theory that just hoping that it hits is no better than stopping your own thinking. Blast away with a massive number of bullets of guesses and make them impact like a wall so that only one of them hitting the target is enough. That's basically what I've been doing. Every time I freak out, I keep blasting out things until eventually I'm happy with one. Thank you, Phoenix. Blue, huh? I get it. If your dread truth is a razor sharp katana, Homestuck reference, then it looks like my blue is a shotgun. No, a machine gun whose firepower will turn the witch into a honeycomb. I see. So it's an awkward gun that fires many shots. That sort of crude analogy is just like you. The climax of a detective novel is always the same. The famous detective gathers all the suspects at once and displays a single trail of logic that works splendidly. Almost like William Tell spectacularly shooting through an apple with a single arrow. That's why I mistakenly took that into a virtue. It probably would be splendid if I could shoot through the truth with a single guess, but that isn't realistic. Look at real wars. They really have everyone pull long guns out of the trench, aim really well, and take shots at each other one at a time? They don't, right? They fire repeatedly, they fire all over the place, they pin down the enemy with a barrage. Reasoning is the same way. Because of that weird virtue, I've been stuck thinking it's better to take one line of reasoning at a time. We humans can fire off countless guesses and possibilities. The bullet is the power of imagination. Suspension of thought is a clogged barrel. The pathetic way I've been reasoning up until now is like a pre-shooter. I've been so lame, weakly firing off shots, getting them denied and red, and then taking the next bullet and reloading. My blue truth, which claims that the humans and tricks are what's real, will overpower its target, the illusion told by the witch with its firepower and the force of what I can imagine. This is Ushiria Banter's fighting style! Thanks to you, I figured out my true fighting style. Thanks, Karatel. You're welcome. Makes me think of how pathetic I was before. Yeah, it's like Vato said. I've had a handicap up until now. I've acknowledged that. New rule, understood. I have my own way of fighting. I'll show you it. That willpower is good. I like it. Then try using it right away. This blue truth of yours. Wait, let me cook. Every time you say Homestuck reference now, there might as well be a above it. You'll soon understand. I'm cooking, let me cook. How would you word this? Well, I guess let her say a red first, I guess. Okay, no, I think he's gonna say it. Okay, wait, now let me cook. Okay. I'm not good with wordplay. Wait. Just 2 minutes. Nah, I'm stupid. I'm gonna let him teach me for once. Butler, take the reins. Yeah, I'll use it. With this blue truth, I'll break apart your witch theory, which states that only a witch culprit was possible because everyone had alibis. This is my truth! Ushiriya Kitsu is already dead! Therefore, the true number of people on the island is 17. By adding an unknown person X to that, it becomes 18 people. By supposing that this person X exists, the crime is possible even if all 7 people have alibis. 17 people have alibis. Okay, I get it. That was pretty straightforward. So, blue truth means that it just needs to be like not a question, it has to be a statement. Okay, I get it. Ruby, I'm sorry that you might hate me. Phoenix too. But I feel if something this huge is coming up, I should stream when Sems and Jules are available. If it's gonna be this huge. Whatever's coming. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, alright, we're stopping here. Because yeah, I'm stopping. Because there's either one of two things is gonna happen. Either Kinso's gonna be shown to be alive, and it's another Butler epic fail moment, or Kinso's gonna be shown to be dead, and I'm going to uninstall the game. So, we shall see. But yes, Phoenix, I shall do both. I'm thinking. Anyways, that's all. Okay, cool. So, thank you for watching. See you all later. Ruby is not wrong. Why is it stuck in the loading screen? Oh, no, that was just this stream. Okay, I'm out of here. Farewell, and thank you for watching. Next stream shall be a nuclear bomb. Possibly. Farewell.